So guys, the setup is done. I'm sipping on my green tea in the meanwhile. One of the perks of shooting food is you get to eat a lot, and I'm quite a glutton at that. So while the food is being prepared, some yummy, amazing dishes are coming. I'm just using the green tea as something to test. This is some advice that I give to a lot of people that work with me, and otherwise everybody who's shooting. And whether it's food, whether it's anything that you're shooting, it's always good to take a test shot first. You know your lighting, you know what your subject looks like. So the camera I'm using right now is the Panasonic GH5, one of my favorites nowadays. So the green tea is my test shot, and I think I'm pretty much there with the lighting. Even though the GH5 has a lot of features like live cropping and a lot of that, I would share some of the more basic stuff today, how to shoot videos. Because let's start from the basics. Let's fight one war at a time. So we'll start with that, and I think in the next videos we'll tell you how to shoot with different modes, what all is to be done. So let's get the food started. My lighting is done. While the restaurant has their own stylists and everything, we are not really using that, and it's not that we don't want to. The way I learned right in the starting, for a lot of beginners, you might not always get those options from your clients. So it's actually better to try and Google out, do your Facebook studies, do your Google study, and see what works for you. So that is what even I do at times when you need a reference. So today I've done the styling, you can judge it. But the point is that it has to look good on camera. And sometimes you are the one who has to decide. You don't always get a stylist. And if you look at the shape, now the thing with the shape of this entire layout is that the chapatis are not really making sense. If you look at it from this angle, it's not really making sense. It's looking out of proportion. But at the same time, you somewhere need the chapatis. So you can always cut it out. That could be a frame. And you slightly shift your weight from left to right. And just tilt your camera a little bit. I'm not saying that this is a very award-winning shot. This is something that you can start off as a beginner and try out. So you can just move your weight from one angle to the other. So one thing to be done while you do this movement, or any movement when you're doing a handheld camera, is to keep your hand very stable. And you fix your frame, you move to your right, from your right to your left, or your left to your right, however you want. And just shift your weight. Slowly you move your camera around the dish. And so just focus on the dish, focus on where you want to see. The GH5 has some brilliant, I can just touch on the point I want to focus. All I need to do is then just press the record button and I move my frame. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going around. It is just a tilt of the hand. It's just a sleight of hand that I'm doing. So guys, once again we have a very yummy looking veg korma. That's the veg korma at Hammo restaurant, Pandara Road, Delhi. And again, I've just styled it. All these things are not in my frame. I've still kept them because if I need, I might just add something. So earlier we did a movement where we just shifted the body weight from one point to another. But a more simpler way of doing it is either you come out of the dish or you go into it. You don't have to jump into the dish. You just have to just focus on the dish. You work very close. In fact, this is something that you can try for a lot of other things. And just remember, in this case, if your dish is super colorful like this one is, you would feel good. This actually looks like a pizza. But then when you zoom out, you can slightly tilt your frame. It comes out really good. So you can just do the opposite as well. You can slowly go closer into the dish. So just do it 3-4 times. Do it as many times as you want. Practice makes a man perfect. But what happens is your entire frame is seen. So that's the veg korma. And this is precisely just some very basic stuff. I would say don't go, there are always rules. There are some rules you can follow on how to shoot food and how to shoot any other subject. But what I would suggest is, there's no rule to photography, there's no rule to videography. It's purely about what you think, what you feel. So if you feel that a certain angle is good, if the food is looking good, it's looking yummy, you want to eat it up, that's when you should just go into the frame. Try different angles. The more you try, the better you become. So that's it. That's for the video bit for today. And we'll be back with a lot of more stuff. Filmmaking, biking, travel, you name it, we do it. So just let us know whatever you want to see us do, and we'll make sure we do it. See ya.